What's the deal, y'all?
What's good?
What up, though?
It's your girl, the Caribbean Chocolate, Jocelyn Navarro.
Good. It's the one and only Ruben Slarlot.
It's your boy, the Prop, Isaiah Broner.
It's the Urban Playboy, Pretty Boy Smooth.
This is the Croc Rocket. Nickelback Poppin'. Curls for all the girls. The Perminator, Sam Bale.
This is the more of Irish strong style. The Wild Irish, Riley Rose.
This is Only One Rhonda, and you're tuned into.
Now tuned in.
Now tuned in.
Tune in.
Tuned in.
You're tuned in to
Tune in to Marks with Mike.
Marks with Mics.
Marks with Mics.
Marks with Mics.
Marks with Mikes.
Keep it player.
Enjoy the show.
respectfully.
Now somebody hit my music. Shout out! Hey, yo! What am I doing? Oh my God! Are you kidding me? Did we just see? The irresistible force meeting the immovable object.
Everybody listen to me. My name is Armando Alejandro Estrada and present to you my homie, bulldozer, Dex Clark.
Hello.
Oh.
It is I, the Stampede, Dallas Cash. You know what it is.
Here's my man. What's going on, bro?
What's going
I butchered
on?
her name, Dallas Clark. I was thinking Caitlin Clark, you know what I mean? She's fucking out here. But
Well,
yeah, we're here. March with Mics, another episode. Our homeboy JT will be joining in soon. He's having technical difficulties. You know, Cox is still playing with him. You know what I mean? Pause, but you know what I mean? So how was your fourth, man?
You know he always got to do a run-in, man. You know, that's his gimmick now. Always just doing the run-in. So we're gonna recap a couple of things that have happened over the past week. We got Forrbidden Door, a recap from that, the fallout from NXT, Monday Night Raw, SmackDown, also Money in the Bank, the robbery that occurred at Money in the Bank. We got some predictions for NXT Heatwave tonight.
It's hot.
It is hot.
Yeah, definitely, man. And not to briefly touch, man, show love to TNA. You know what I mean? TNA putting some good shows.
Definitely.
You know, you got the Matt Hardy coming back, broken Matt Hardy with his wife and all that stuff. But you know, I don't know, man. How was your fourth, man?
Fourth was pretty good. We spent it in Niagara Falls, New York. Just got the family together. We went up there, tried some of the best buffalo wings I've had in a long time at Ducks.
Those are the ones.
Yes, those are the ones. So it was a great fourth. And how was yours?
I was good, man. I was pretty much just low key. You know what I mean? Just stand, see the neighbors do their thing. You know what I mean? Just go back. It was chill, you know. Have a long weekend. That's good.
All right.
Well,
we're going to go ahead and jump forward and see what's on the table today because we are going to be barbecuing.
Oh, yeah. Let them cook. But I don't know. Let's start with rumors and news, if there's any. If there's anything that is out there, perhaps in the rounds, in the world of the wrestling. Okay, so this week WWE filed the trademarks with the United States Patent and Trademark Office related to Jeff Uso, Baron Corbin, and more. You know, if I would trade Heat, catphrase, Baron Corbin, King Corbin, nicknamed the Mask Beyond, and the New Blood Rising. Oh shit, that sounds like a pay-per-view.
Yeah, well, what are they cooking up? And come to think of it, now that we have this, not necessarily a rumor, but they're bringing back Bad Blood. So you
Yeah,
can
Bad Blood.
imagine what's going on. Like, is there a Hell in a Cell match that's going to be going on for Bad Blood? Because Bad is synonymous with the very first Hell in a Cell match that took place on October 5th, 1997, between the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels, and the Phenom, The Undertaker, which is still regarded as like a top 3 Hell in a Cell match of all time, in my opinion.
Yeah, perhaps like a lot of people said, like that match, was better than Mick Foley's. Yeah, Hell of a Cell.
From a wrestling standpoint, yeah, I could definitely see that. I still got Mankind and Taker as my top 1 Hell in a Cell match of all time, because I feel like that was the breaking point of the Attitude Era, and I think that's the match that kind of separated WWE from WCW in the Monday Night War. And that match was iconic because it's still talked about to this day, and there really hasn't been a Hell in a Cell match that brutal since then.
No, but he got like he used to do tours, even though like the comedian, it was doing comedy or whatever, but the storytelling just on that match alone, But like going back to the trademark, I don't know. I feel it's probably like they got somebody looking at the numbers, or and I don't know the contract situation. They had something to do with that. You know what I mean? Like now they're aware of what's going on. Like when people leave, blah blah blah. You know what I mean? So they're probably gonna be more lenient with people. Like, you could do this, but you know what I mean? We're gonna get our cut over here.
Yep.
But
everybody's got to get their cut. Everybody's got to get their cut. So
yeah, to me, it just now they the TKO they own it. You know what I'm saying? Everybody just keeping game and shit. So I think we're gonna see a lot of that. It merchandise purposes. All that, match and beyond, like who knows what they got in store, but they doing it the legit way.
yeah, definitely. Just wholeheartedly, I think WWE has some great plans for us going forward as the fans, and it's always good to pull back from the past and introduce it into the future, because it helps get people back into the product from what it was back then, and you're able to create something new out and build off of it. So just reinventing the wheel.
Oh man, pretty much. That's the way it should. It should be. Let's see. Well, the big news out of the night for some, John Cena, man.
Woo! Yeah. So, if anybody's not been paying attention to what was going on, John Cena opened up Money in the Bank, talked a little bit about his career, but officially dropped the nuclear bomb and answered the questions that many people were wondering over the course of the last 5 years, was when he was going to officially retire. And he finally announced that in 2025, next year, he will be officially retiring. Now, the big question is, who is his retirement match going to be against?
That's gonna be the big, the big draw. You know what I mean? Like, do he put somebody over? Would they actually go the route and make him become the 17th time champion? How can that happen? And if it does happen, you know what I mean? Like, will they go about it? He even brought up that after that, the jorts are going, you know what I mean? He's just going to be screwed up. All this stuff that perhaps he should have said in the ring, but he chose not to. But a lot of people grew up with John Cena. We know wrestling because of John Cena. Us that have been watching him, we remember his first fight match. You know what I mean? Like when he came out, and you had bars. You know what I mean? It was one of the most entertaining things at the time. Who would have thought that guy with the hip hop gimmick will become the person that granted the most wishes and make a wish?
Yes.
You know what I mean? I believe the dude, man, untouchable. But who you said can be his last match? I mean, I'll throw one out there. That he was there yesterday. CM Punk.
Yep.
but most likely will be somebody like passing the baton, maybe Cody. You know?
It could be a multitude of people, but when you look at John Cena's career, you have to think about all the things that the positives and the negatives, but how the positives outweigh the negatives, because at one point he was looked at as a guy that wouldn't really put young talent over, and he kind of denied and debunked those accusations. They said he couldn't wrestle. Then he started adding more to his move set as he went along. And when you look at a guy like John Cena, you have to look at somebody who's going to carry the future of WWE the same way he did. So if I'm a betting man, I want him versus CM Punk somewhere down the line, but I don't want CM Punk to be his last match, because if we're going to pass the torch, we have to pass the torch the same way that he tried to Austin Theory, and it didn't necessarily work out. So if I could pick Cody Rhodes, I would. But if I'm a betting man, I would possibly say that honor needs to go to Braun Breaker. That's who I feel like they should at least pass the torch to, because at least with Braun Breaker, he has the charisma, he has the look, he has the build. It's almost similar. The only thing is he's not a rapper, but he has that look and that build, and if I may throw a pun in there, the prototype of what WWE is looking for. I personally say Braun Breaker. It may be somebody else down the line, like, who knows, maybe a Trick Williams, a Carmelo Hayes, a Cody Rhodes, Chad Gable, necessarily speaking.
Let's say right there, like the homie Anthony, shout out to the homie. Because Cena break the record before retirement. And I just, that was another scenario that they could go with. You know what I mean? They go that way. And how does that story go by? Is it gonna be for Cody's belt, or is it gonna be for the heavyweight? Like, how would they go about it? Which they can, but let's see. Good shit, eh?
I would say if with knowing that, I initially in the back of my mind had a scenario where for John Cena's last match, like the Money in the Bank briefcase may come into play. But with what happened recently, that's obviously not on the table. But since he's been synonymous with being cashed in on for Money in the Bank and jump starting Edge's career, I felt like that would have been another good way for him to go out. And yeah, the last time is now. And ladies and gentlemen, John Cena has entertained us for over, I want to say, 22 years, 24 if you're counting the OVW stint. And we're so happy for him. So, big shout out to you, John Cena. Thank you for all your hard work, all your dedication, putting smiles on people's faces, letting us allow you to tell you that you suck for arenas all across the country, and then finally you getting the Kurt Angle treatment later in your career. So we're happy that you're going to be celebrating retirement and making many more movies and series. So keep it up. We're just happy for you, man. Salute to you.
And who actually came out with that idea?
Yeah. Yeah, it was The Rock who said, "Now I want you to go out there and I want you to announce your retirement for next year."
Yeah. Like, that ass. Like, he said it, but like the impact that John Cena had on people, because like I said, people know wrestling because of fucking John Cena. You can't see me. The merch, bro. You see it. You know what I mean? Like the merch, boom, bro. Within minutes of him getting in that ring, you know what I mean? You know how many people order that shit?
Hotcakes, selling like hotcakes.
You know what I mean? It was unbelievable, and they able to do that. But I don't know. You know what I mean? There's always a running. You know what I mean? The show. I don't know. Seems like somebody might pop up from the top rope. You know what I mean? So I don't know if we'll tag them in. He ready to come in. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Hey, there he is. There he is. He cashed in his opportunity and came in right at the John. Well, see what I'm saying about these John Cena cash-ins? I'm telling you.
Listen, yo, my bad, ladies and gentlemen. I've been dealing with Cox all day, and unfortunately, pause.
Hey, yo.
Not that type of Cox. I'm talking about Cox Cable. I've been dealing with them all day. Y'all cable company sucks. Y'all internet sucks. Your Ethernet is garbage at best. Like
every cutting a promo.
Yeah, like it's hot garbage, bro. There's no way with the Ethernet Ethernet plugged into the computer that I can't log in and start the show on time. Y'all are hot garbage. Throw it away.
We need to have a segment on this show where each one of us gets like 60 seconds to cut a promo on the topic of someone else's choosing. And this man just cut a scathing promo on his own internet provider.
Garbage, man. Basura. How about that?
Yeah,
different languages. So I've been watching about it. We talked about John Cena retirement, man. Listen, a lot of people. I got a text messages of crying emojis, and I text back, "Why are you crying?" And that person said, "You're not watching?" I said, "Yeah, I'm watching, but I'm not crying because there's no crying in baseball. There's no crying in wrestling, right?" Mm-hmm. So, in the inside, yeah, it's tears of joy because, like you said earlier, Dallas and Cheech, this man been doing this, entertaining us for 20 plus years. To a lot of people, the same way Terry Bollea, and we'll get to him later. The same way a lot of people grew up on Hogan, this generation of people grew up on Cena. To them, Cena was that Hogan of that era. You know? And I'm going to say it. He is the GOAT. I've always had a love-hate relationship when it does come to John Cena, right? But John Cena literally fed generations. And for 20 plus years, you're talking about the moments he's created, the matches that you can recall, all of that is because of that one man, John Cena. So hats off to him, salute to you, wish him best. If I had to pick somebody for his last match, I see you said Braun Breaker. I am going to go elsewhere. Give me Chad Gable.
I also said Chad Gable. Like they can go that route too.
Yeah, give me Chad Gable, man. Chad Gable versus John Cena, or if not Chad Gable, give me Melo. Give me Melo. Give me someone who can carry the future of the company. Not saying that Melo and Gable will be those particular guys, because you got Braun Breaker right there. But I'm saying, like, those are two people that can really, really take off and really help this company. Like, especially Melo with his reach. You're looking at Chad Gable, Olympian. I can see it. But I know y'all talked about y'all fourth. My fourth was cool, man. I basically had the itis all day. I ate, went to sleep, woke back up, ate, went to sleep, and that was it. I think out of a whole entire day, I maybe slept about 16 hours, and I never get that much sleep. So I guess that was my body catching up with me. But what else do we have here in the rumors and news? Let's see. We talked about Bad Blood coming back. Did we mention that? Did y'all see the commercial featuring Metro Boomin and Cody.
Yeah, definitely.
So the fact that
check what Ed said.
Gable was little Kurt Angle, and his first match wasn't. Yo.
That's right. That's why I mentioned Chad Gable, because Chad Gable had the prototype of Kurt Angle, and it would almost be exactly how Cena's career started. And my personal opinion is that Angle's last match at WrestleMania 35 should have been John Cena.
Yeah,
because they never got that. They never got that handshake. Like Cena never got that handshake from Kurt Angle. So I feel like he could pay that forward with Chad Gable in his last match.
No, real talk. I feel you. I feel you on that. I definitely feel you on that. Like I kind of feel like Gable is literally, it's right there. The story writes itself. Like there's no need to add anything extra to the cake. No ice and no extra layer. That's it. But moving on from the whole Cena rumors and news, did y'all hear about this story coming out? Right. So apparently Hulk Hogan. That's why I said we'll get to him later. But apparently there's this young lady online who basically got hired as a brand ambassador for Hulk Hogan and end up getting fired, right? She claiming because she's black.
That story didn't get no traction at all.
None at all.
I didn't hear about it.
Okay,
it was trending on Twitter, but it was like very, very little wavelength, very little frequency on it.
It had no traction.
All right, so it had. I mean, it got some views or whatever, but of course, Hogan has the new beer, Real American Beer, and she says that Hulk Hogan has been accused of firing a brand ambassador due to their ethnicity. Essence Janae and an influencer took to TikTok to reveal that Hulk Hogan paid her to be a brand ambassador for his Real American Beer, but fired her the next day after discovering she was black. Now, I don't know if this is true or not. Maybe it's a clout thing, maybe it's not. But just saying, we all heard the tape from a few years ago.
Mm-hmm.
But of course, people gonna pull out. But he has black friends.
Today's July 7th, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Today, I believe, is the anniversary of the NWO.
Word?
Yeah, when Hogan turned.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the third man?
The third man, Bash at the Beach.
Yo, where were you when that happened? Did you watch it live on TV or did you watch it?
At that time, I was on a wrestling hiatus.
Okay.
And I was more of a WWE than WCW.
Well, coming from the South, I was a WCW guy. So I remember not watching it on pay-per-view because my mom wasn't going to pay for that. But I remember going to the pay-per-view channel and hoping that the signal was straightened up for a second because used to go in the box and it'd be moving around and everything like that. And every so often you would catch like a good still shot. If you don't know what I'm talking about, remember back in the day, for all y'all nasty, all them nasty people. See, this is how cable used to work for us, right? We didn't have to pay for that little extra, you know what I'm saying? The little extra money for the cable. So what we'll do is we'll take the remote control, we'll click, and we'll hopefully get like a still shot where it stays still for like a good minute or so. But that's how we watched pay-per-view stuff back in the day. Or you just, got a box that had a chip in it. But yeah, I remember that, man. I remember the NWO thing, and I was NWO changed the trajectory of wrestling, period. It made wrestling cool. And wrestling. Go ahead. What you say?
What you said NWO?
Yeah.
Imagine how influential that is. That we went retro, you know, and like the fun, you know, the podcast.
Yeah, NWO changed the game. It got celebrities involved, athletes involved, NBA, you name it. Everybody was throwing it up. I remember at one point people in schools clicked up. You know what I'm saying?
What you said?
I remember at one point people in schools were clicked up talking about they was NWO this, and you know, I was one of those people, not gonna lie. Like this is middle school though, you know. So everyone was clicked up though.
Yeah, I mean, it was cool, but then you started seeing so many people that it's like the only one, I'm not gonna lie, the Disciple. At first, I didn't know that was Beefcake. You know what I mean? At first. And,
the Disciple, yeah. I didn't know that either till afterwards.
Yeah, so it was cool back then because the internet wasn't popping like it is today. You know what I'm saying? But the NWO is for life. You know what I mean? And it pretty much influenced staples like the Bloodline.
Yeah, you name it. Bloodline, DX, Bullet Club. Everything came from I guess you could say, an NWO perspective.
The Click too, like the Click. NWO was pop culture, and it was cool to be the bad guy. It was cool to be the badass. It was cool to be a rule breaker. And Hulk Hogan, Scott Hall, and Kevin Nash were a very instrumental part of the NWO and the influence it still has today. NWO is still one of the top selling shirts, and you know, most of pretty much everybody in the NWO are non-existent with wrestling, but the impact that they've left is just, it's still one of the top 3 factions of all time, if not number 1.
No, real talk, yo. Shout out to Dr. Joe Brown. Shout out to the homie Just, representing Marcy Mice, representing Get Your Podcast. Brand new episode just dropped yesterday featuring Dom of Powerbomb Jitsu. Shout out to Just. Shout out to Culture Clash Network. But we was talking about the NWO and its roots, right? And I remember this, and I remember hearing this story. So remember when like and everything happened and Hogan came to the ring and dropped the leg drop, and remember they were saying that it was supposed to be Sting, and ended up being Hogan, right?
Yeah.
You know, do you know who made that call?
The Rock. So then I told Eric Bischoff, instead of Sting, why don't we go with Hulk Hogan? Because I'm going to debut later on that year, and I want my idol to run the NWO. I just don't think it's Sting yet. I think you need to take Sting and have him watch this movie called The Crow, and build that for another year, and then we do Hogan and Sting at Starrcade 97. And Nick Patrick, for whatever reason, has to be the referee.
No, yo. So if y'all don't know the picture that we're using, if you have not watched the what was it, the WCW documentary, that's
I thought it was the WrestleMania 40.
I'm sorry. See, I'm all messed up.
And I told JT it was actually the WrestleMania 40 documentary. I told Cheech, put that hat on today. You are going to be Armando Cheech Estrada. And then I told Cox Cable, Cox, please mess up JT's internet before he comes on the show. He's going to do a run-in. And then I told Gitcho, make sure you comment right up under the video and have Dom from Powerbomb Jutsu on your show. If you can't do that, we can't have WrestleMania 40.
No, so Yeah, so the WrestleMania 40 Behind the Curtain documentary drop. If y'all haven't watched it yet, this is where the picture is coming from. Go watch it. It's a good piece of work. Speaking of a good piece of work, let's move past us rumors and news. But before I do that, some honorable mentions. We had Drewski and Tony Khan linking up at Michael Rubin's all-white party. You know who else was there? Drake. Drake was at the party. And you know what else happened on July 4th? Anyone want to take a wild guess? Nobody knows? Nobody knows? That's right. Kendrick Lamar dropped the video.
Oh, here we go again.
For Not Like Us. This is not Not Like Us playing. This is Like That, which pretty much started everything. So Cass on his show, Kazim, he mentioned that maybe, just maybe, Not Like Us is getting a little bit, I don't know, to the point where it's, I'm not going to use the word corny, but I want to use the term just overplayed. Now, the video was genius. Like, if you dissect everything from the video, and you really look at the video and you really been on your music shit, like, you'll know everything about that video, what he's doing. Everything has a purpose.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Video's genius. As a DJ, I'm gonna be honest, I'm tired of playing it. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, I literally played Not Like Us on Friday. I played Not Like Us maybe 5 times from 9 p.m. to 2:30. And I am a very, stickler. Like, I don't like to play the song. I don't like to play any song more than once. Twice is the most. But when people come up, yo, play that. Okay, I'm not going to play it. But then when they throw some money in the tip bucket, now I got to play it, right? It's kind of like what's the name that when you go to the bars and you put your money in and you pick your song or whatever,
like a jukebox.
Yeah, like the jukebox. So if you're paying me, yeah, I'm going to put it on, but to play it 5 times. So I'm gonna ask y'all: do y'all think Not Like Us is getting stale, or do you think the shelf life of the song is going to continue?
So my opinion on it is, this is the effect of when Drake came out with Back to Back.
We here. Keep going.
It was the same thing with Back to Back. We kept hearing it in clubs. We kept hearing it in parties. Radio. Everywhere you go, you heard Back to Back. And Meek Mill could not escape that song for like the first 3-4 years after it had dropped. Well, now Drake is on the opposite side of that spear, and now he's feeling the effects of hearing the same song over and over and over, no matter where he goes. It's to a degree, it's run its course, but it's no different than if it's a catchy diss song, it's going to get played a lot. It's the same thing with Tupac had Hit 'Em Up, Nas with Ether, 50 Cent with Back Down. Hell, at one point, I was hearing Checkmate from Jadakiss a lot, but it wasn't getting played in the clubs, mind you. But if it's a catchy song, it's a catchy song. And not only the best diss songs are songs that have turned into memes. When you can make a meme out of a diss song, it's pretty good. But we also had that happen with Meet the Graham, where it turned into a meme. The only reason why Meet the Grahams isn't getting the same level is because it's not a catchy song. It's just something very somber and sad, very disrespectful. And Not Like Us is getting that level of charting. But overall, like, it'll fizzle out as the year goes by.
All right, Just said hot songs will always get played. That's true.
Yep. If it's hot, it's hot.
Yeah, if it's hot, it's definitely gonna get it's gonna get that it's going to get that rotation. But I'm not, like I said, I'm not a hater or anything. You know, when it does come to it, you know, I feel like, okay, make your money however you're gonna make your money, but at the same time, people give it a rest. You know what I'm saying? Like, we get it. He won. The battle's over with. He ain't got to fight no more.
There's a good analogy for it. And this is not me comparing, but when we talk about Michael Jordan, right? What is one of the things people bring up that Michael Jordan was on the receiving end of? Allen Iverson's crossover.
Right.
And it was synonymous with, when you look at Allen Iverson, the first thing people bring up is when he either stepped over Tyronn Lue, or when he crossed up Michael Jordan. It's gonna be this. I'm not saying that Kendrick Lamar is like Allen Iverson. I'm just saying when we look back at Kendrick Lamar's career, this is going to be one of the first three things that they bring up is not like us, and it's just something that is going to be part of their career. Especially when we look at 50 Cent, the first thing we talk about with 50 Cent is get rich or die trying, and then the beef with Ja Rule. Period.
No,
That's
real
it.
talk. Where is Ja in this situation?
What does Ja Rule think of all of this?
No, but really, what does Ja Rule think of this whole entire situation? Because if anyone knows anything about being dissed and being like continue, I mean, come on, 50 Cent had Wanksta and actually sold the Wanksta doll at his concerts.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, so I don't know. For this, I kind of feel like this song is not going to die out. It's going to continue to get played. It's going to have that back-to-back effect. But do you think Drake takes time off the way Meek Mill take time off, or do you think he hops right back on?
No, I think Drake. If I'm Drake, I'm going to just not let it affect me and keep, because he still has fans that are going to come to his shows. Like, yeah, he took an L, but Jay-Z took an L when it came to Ether, and he still put out albums. People are still going to buy your music. It doesn't matter how many times you get your ass kicked. They're still going to buy your music.
Yeah, if you got good music.
You got the music. People, if you got good music, people are going to come towards it. I mean, to have that happen, I mean, like, really,
this generation, you know what I mean? So, yeah, Kendrick gonna be playing, you know what I mean? Like, they think, like, Kendrick going at Lil Wayne, you know what I mean? Like, he could, if you want to hear some shit, but Wayne ain't gonna do nothing, you know what I mean? He ain't doing nothing against Pusha.
Yeah, that's just kicking down a forbidden door right there.
Yeah, for sure. But I think that's enough of that, man. Let's talk about that brief, bro.
Oh no, you're right. You know what? It is enough of that. One last thing, and then we're gonna hop off of this whole entire thing, right? So speaking of getting dissed, getting dissed or whatever.
Yeah, he was the one that came up with it.
So let's talk about it. Yeah. So Rose, aka Rick Ross, was in Vancouver, Canada, and he decided to play Not Like Us. Well,
what?
That's exactly what ended up happening. If you didn't see the video, Ross is going to deny it, but he clearly got hit, right? He got hit.
By a Caucasian fellow.
Who yelled out, and he told him straight up, I know MMA. So what's crazy is, happy birthday to 50 Cent. 50 Cent celebrates his birthday in Canada just to troll Rick Ross, right? So that's the last thing I want to say on the whole situation. Let's get to the rest of this news. Let's get back to these topics. And go ahead.
And I told Rick Ross, go out there and disrespect Drake in Vancouver, British Columbia. And then I this is funny because I got Kendrick Lamar popping up in my head telling Rick Ross, you think Vancouver will let you disrespect Drake, nigga?
Yeah. Oh my God. But I'm not gonna hold y'all, man. I'm not gonna hold y'all. But let's move on, man. So we had Forbidden Door last week, and we had Money in the Bank this week, and we got Heatwave.
Feels so long, you know. Like
It feels if it was just last Sunday, which is crazy.
What we doing?
All right, so I'm just gonna go. Let's go and just hit how we felt about Forbidden Door real quick. So overall, we watched all the matches, not all of them, but we watched the ones that matter, right?
The ones that matter, the one that opened the show, like this one. Who care about this match? Anyone? Yeah.
No, because it was forgettable.
No.
You pretty much knew what was going to happen. It was an ABC match, and it really wasn't a match that's like, oh, I got to see this. Like, the matches that I wanted to see, I was happy, and it turned out. Like Mercedes and Stephanie. Oh my gosh, that was a really good match. Really good. Zack Sabre putting Orange Cassidy in a fucking Auntie Anne's pretzel at the very end. Like, everything we predicted pretty much came to pass. Swerve and Osprey, classic match, classic ending.
Chef's kiss.
What needed to happen happened, and I loved the whole essence of it. There was really good storytelling in Swerve and Osprey, and it had a great feel to it because it made Swerve look like a unstoppable force, just for the simple fact that he blocked Osprey's hidden blade with little to no effort, and the exhaustion from Osprey being completely exhausted, completely defeated, completely out of his element. And the final straw was just Swerve taking over, hitting his finish, 1, 2, 3 clean, no bullshit, no interference, just a flat out great wrestling match.
No, real talk. I think definitely that Swerve and Osprey match needs to be talked about.
Very much.
It needs to be talked about. Like, that was so much high team, like action was everywhere, and a lot of people were predicting that Swerve was going to lose and drop it to Osprey, but people were saying that not people. People are saying that it was Will Ospreay's idea to actually have this match and actually take the L. But
it wasn't his idea.
It was The Rock.
You know, Will Ospreay, I really think you should go out there and put on a 5-star match with Swerve and lose. Just my opinion, but I'm the great one. And if you smell what The Rock is cooking, tell Tony Khan what I just said, and let's make it happen.
Yeah, so okay.
This Rock meme is going to be the new "Not Like Us." I swear to God, it's every time something happens, people are just going to post that. I mean, I posted it when Drew McIntyre snapped on the cameras. Yeah.
All right, so Mercedes Moné becomes double champ. Britt Baker comes back. I mean, Forbidden Door was a very predictable card, right?
Yeah.
Not saying that the card was trash.
It was good.
It was good.
And we got like Naito, John Moxley, pretty much kind of seen it coming.
Put it this way: every single match that we predicted came out exactly the way we predicted it, because it was a very predictable card. You know what I'm saying? It was too predictable. Championship matches, you knew which way that was going to go, based on where the title was going. Right. You knew that.
But predictable is good. Predictable is good.
Predictable is good, but you know, the card overall, I enjoyed it. I even took a nap and woke back up and it was still on. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I enjoyed it. And I'm gonna give AEW his flowers. You had Hangman Page return this week to face Jeff Jarrett. So he's gonna be in the finals match of the Owen coming up. So that's gonna be happening. So AEW had 2 returns in 1 week, Hangman and Britt Baker. And Britt Baker revealed that she stayed out longer due to, and I'm trying to remember the name of the condition that she had. But she ended up staying out longer and told Tony that, hey, I need to stay out longer to get myself together. But Britt Baker going in with Mercedes Moné right off the back, do you think that she deserves to cut the line, or do you think people like Chris Statlander should be up next? Yeah, I asked that question.
Go ahead, Cheech.
You couldn't wait.
Boy, it just make perfect sense in the sense of, like, you know, keep the top players with the top players. Stanlander hasn't got there yet, in my opinion. You know what I mean? I'm sorry, Stokely, Hathaway, they wasting him. I don't know what the fuck happened, but yeah, he got his comedy sections and things like that, but I don't think he had made the impact that I thought he was gonna make. The same thing when he was in NXT. You know what I mean? I think he fell off. He fell off, Stokely. No, but he's still, you know, he's still on TV. You know what I mean? So I'll hate on that shit. But man, yeah, Britt Baker, man. You know, she's the homie. You know what I mean? She's his hometown hero, even though she claims Pittsburgh. You know what I mean? Because that's where she's from.
AIW alumni.
AIW. You know what I mean? So it's only right that she's the one, because there's nobody else there that I could think of. You know what I mean? Like, that it could be up that top notch. I think it would be cool if they have that match, and then Thunder Rosa, and then the other ones kind of come in. Because to be honest, on paper, the girls division, they're good, but the matches.
I got you. It's kind of like the Lakers when they had Karl Malone and Gary Payton, right? On paper, man,
yes,
that looked good. In reality, it's yeah, basically throwing the damn towel. I don't know what you got, Dallas.
So Mercedes versus Britt Baker is what they need to do right away to establish how big of a threat Mercedes is to the women's division. But you know, with any reign that involves her, it's pretty much going to end up with her looking up at the lights somewhere down the line, unless they give her a lengthy run. You know, her lengthy runs really, aside from 2020 to 2021, really doesn't go hand in hand. You know, she doesn't keep that title as quickly as she chases it. You know, she's better as a chaser than she is as a champ. I agree. I think it works because there's really nobody else who really stands a threat to her when Thunder Rosa decides, you know, she wants to be a part of the grind again. Maybe down the line, but I just don't see anybody else who deserves the opportunity other than Britt Baker. So in order to establish your all ex WWE champions, you necessarily have to have them beat the people who are established in the company. And wholeheartedly, it should be Britt and Mercedes. We've wanted this since she first arrived anyway. So Let's not waste any time and just get straight to it. Build it as a best of 7 series.
I mean, but do you really want 7 Mercedes Moné matches with Britt Baker? You know what I'm saying? Like, I think 7 is give me 3, because I'm not going, because after a while I'm gonna see every trick that you pulled out your bag, right? Remember that they had the same thing happen in AEW with the best of what was the best of 7 with who was it? God damn it! I want to say it was was a Hangman? Was a Hangman and Omega? I can't remember, but that we're gonna see every trick. By the time we get the match number 3 or 4, it's like, okay, it's predictable. We know that this is gonna happen and that is gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
And I'm not disagreeing with that idea, but with a best of 7 series, like let me just bring up a few. We talked about the Hangman one, right? All right, so John Cena and Booker T had a best of 7 series. We had seen everything in the book, but it was still classic material. I believe Chris Benoit and Booker T had something. Cesaro and Sheamus, like the best of 7 series. Like as long as they have great chemistry.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And we've seen how many John Cena and Randy Orton matches over the course of like 20 years. I mean, if they got chemistry, they got chemistry. So I'm not disagreeing with you there. My only thing is that if the opportunity to make money is there and people are willing to pay, why not? I mean, we've seen 4 or 5 Okada and Omega matches.
No, real talk.
You know, so
no, I got you. All right, moving on from there. For Forbidden Door overall, if you had to give it a grade, what would you give it?
I give it a 7. It did what it needed to do. It was a very traditional style AEW pay-per-view. A little bit of surprises here and there, not too much. Good spots and bad spots, but I think a 7 is right where it needs to be. I think a 7 is fair. 7?
Okay. Cheech, if you had to give AEW Forbidden Door a grade, what would you give it?
A participation badge.
God damn.
Damn.
Yeah, and then long as fuck, and it was just nothing special to me for some reason. You know what I mean? No, but I'll give it a C.
A C. I'm gonna give it like a B minus, only because of the length of the pay-per-view and the predictability of the pay-per-view. You know what I'm saying? Everything else was predictable. So I'm gonna give it a B minus. Moving on to Money in the Bank. So Money in the Bank popped off from Toronto. We had the men's Money in the Bank ladder match. This was dope. Like, I got really excited for the ladder matches, and I remember being one of those guys who said Money in the Bank should just be at WrestleMania. I think me and Cheech both agreed on that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they should scrap the pay-per-view, the theme pay-per-views, and make them just exclusive matches. But the men's Money in the Bank ladder match, when I tell you, I was genuinely driving my car, watching it on my CarPlay, and I'm literally hooked in because for a minute, I was really, really, really expecting Melo in the bank or Yeet in the bank, but we ended up getting Drew. Were you surprised by the Drew McIntyre decision?
No.
I don't think anybody was, right? But to have my mans win the Money in the Bank ladder match, then to go out there later just to end up getting screwed over. So we go from this to later on with CM Punk screwing this man over, man. CM Punk not only screwed over Drew McIntyre, he ended up screwing over Seth Rollins because Seth Rollins can't get a title shot.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he can't get a title shot whatsoever. And this is the picture from last year's Money in the Bank, by the way. No, but so with this, do you think that this whole Seth Rollins thing, it's pretty much a layup at this moment?
Yeah.
We know what's going to end up happening. We know that at the end of the day, Gunther is going to beat Damian Priest. We know this. Mm-hmm. So with Gunther going to beat Damian Priest, the Seth Rollins challenges Gunther for the title.
I see it happening in the future, but with CM Punk interfering and a lot of people saying, hey, this is a waste of a Money in the Bank briefcase, I don't necessarily think that.
Speak on it.
Because it further pushes the story of Drew and CM Punk, with Drew and Punk being now synonymous with Money in the Bank cash-ins. Punk being a two-time winner, Drew having a failed cash-in, CM Punk never had one. But CM Punk said, as long as I'm here, I'm going to make your life a living hell. And Punk has cost Drew the title on 3 different occasions. It's not necessarily a waste of a Money in the Bank cash-in because it furthers the story. Not only that, it creates a whole nother story.
Talk on it.
Down the line for Punk and Seth Rollins, because as long as Priest is champion, Seth can't get a shot at the world title.
Speak on it.
Punk and Drew now have a common enemy and a common goal. And you're going to see like some sort of weird alliance between the two, because they both have to try to get rid of CM Punk because he's making life hell for Drew McIntyre, which also makes life hell for Seth Rollins. So in the build off of that, once Drew's feud with Punk is over, now you got Punk and Seth's feud kicking off. It's a way to build 2 storylines based on one single thing. I don't think the Money in the Bank briefcase was needed, because the star power for WWE right now in that World Heavyweight Championship picture is very crowded, and the Money in the Bank briefcase just gets in the way. So it doesn't necessarily need it right now. Maybe later down the line. You have a lot of top stars gunning for that title. You have Gunther, you have Drew. Punk is in the mix, but he's not necessarily making his claim for it. He's just there to be a fly or a pest to one Drew McIntyre, a la Seth Rollins. Punk is very much needed to push this feud, and we're going to be getting fed with both these 2 feuds, Drew and Punk at SummerSlam. Maybe Seth and Punk somewhere down the line, a la Survivor Series, maybe Bash at Berlin. Who necessarily knows? But the spotlight is getting crowded around Damian Priest World Heavyweight Championship. And there are so many directions that you can go that the Money in the Bank briefcase is not necessarily needed. For the women's title, yeah. For the men's, not necessarily needed.
Not so much.
So you pretty much you think that that's the idea they had?
I feel like they were. And I said, why don't we give Drew McIntyre the briefcase and then take it off of him? He doesn't need a briefcase. He needs the sword that I gave him when he resigned.
Yo. Yo.
And no shaft.
Oh, yeah.
What happened to your shaft?
There is powerful niggardry at work here.
And then I told JT, use that Boondocks clip to further push my agenda. Because if you don't push the agenda, we can't have a world heavyweight champion. That is the reason why it was my decision to give my spot up to Cody Rhodes so that he went over at WrestleMania 40. Just like that.
Listen, I ain't gonna hold you. CM Punk.
Habitually, he's a habitual line stepper.
Okay, But at the same time,
my bad. Go ahead.
At the same time, CM Punk has been Tom Shepard from above the rim. You know what I'm saying? He has not missed a shot when it comes to screwing Drew McIntyre over.
Yeah, but think about it. Dude pretty much said he prayed that he got hurt.
He did.
Somebody tells you that, bro. You're gonna want to fuck him up every chance you get.
On site.
Hey, JT, you need to find a clip of Michael Jordan from The Last Dance saying that's all I needed. That's all I needed for him to do that, and it became personal.
It became personal.
It became personal. just like Cheech said, he said he prayed on his downfall. Well, since you prayed on my downfall, I'm going to pray on yours and make it happen. Instead of praying on it, I'm going to make it happen.
But how long this lasted?
This has been
like
since
2 matches, maybe? No, like
what?
3.
His briefcase?
3.
Yeah.
3 matches, yeah.
3.
Yo, shout out to everybody watching us on IG. Unfortunately, StreamYard hasn't allowed us to be able to see your comments or when y'all watching. But shout out to everybody that's watching.
Vibes.
Oh, shout out to Van. Yo, hey, what's up, love? Hey, hit me up inside the DM. Shout out to Tika, you know what I'm saying, Miss Early. Shout out to everybody that's watching us on IG. But I will say this. Timing is everything. Timing is everything. I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at, the briefcase, but I am happy about what is going to happen afterwards. We got Bad Blood coming up. We got SummerSlam coming up. We got everything coming up as an outcome of this. Hey, who knows? Even Scrap Daddy may get involved in a fight because him and Drew McIntyre were going at it after the whole entire Money in the Bank. So who knows? But moving on to the next thing that happened, no particular order. Let's talk about the IC match in the Intercontinental title. Go ahead, Dallas.
And I told Drew McIntyre, don't let them play with your name like that. Go out and make your voice heard.
So we got the IC match, Sami Zayn versus Braun Breaker. I did not think that we needed to have Braun Breaker win here at Money in the Bank. He does need an L some type of way. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't need my man on the Goldberg run. It's been done.
But I think the loss was too soon too. Like, why are you gonna put him in his first pay-per-view and have him lose when the way you've been presenting him has been like a machine?
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, the fuck is he doing?
I think my wholehearted opinion is we can say that Braun Breaker lost due to lack of experience in the ring with a veteran like Sami Zayn. But I agree, like, all this momentum that they've built around him, just tearing up superstars on Monday Night Raw, it kind of points to Sami losing the Intercontinental Championship. But, Triple H is a fan of long title reigns, lengthy runs. And I feel like Sami's going to get a lengthy run, probably losing the championship at, I'll say, maybe the Royal Rumble, maybe a Survivor Series, but not no time soon. And I think if he's going to lose it to anybody, it's probably between Braun Breaker or Chad Gable. But it could be used to establish a new star like a Carmelo Hayes. But since they're both on opposite shows, I don't see that potentially happening.
I'm gonna disagree. I don't think we need to have a lengthy title run with the IC title. I think that needs to be like one of those where we need to switch it up every 4 months. We got what we got? Switch it up every 3 months, right? 90 days. Every 90 days, switch it up because there's going to be. Go ahead.
And I honestly believe every 90 days we should have a new Intercontinental Champion. Lengthy runs are not something we need anymore.
We don't.
We gave it to Gunther. We're not going to give it to everybody else. I was once an Intercontinental Champion, and I honestly think nobody should have a longer run than I did. But you gave it to Gunther, and that's okay. But we're not going to keep the IC title on Sami Zayn any longer. He needs to lose it.
And I'm a big fan of Sami dropping the title come SummerSlam because nothing against him, but it's just one of those things where, we need to spread it around because we need to help build and curate more stars. They need to be inside the queue. Let's move it on from that. We had another match pop off, which was the women's ladders match.
Best match of the night.
Which was the best match, period. Like, I have not seen a women's ladder match this good in a minute. But this match was so good that it outdid every match on the card.
Period.
Every match. So shout out to the women. Listen.
Women.
Shout out to the women. But look, I personally thought Naomi was my pick because I thought she needed it more than anybody. But then again, the Money in the Bank briefcase is supposed to be one of those things where, okay, it's for creating new stars, and I'm not mad about the pick. I'm not mad about Tiffy time.
Me and Cheech had picked Chelsea Green to win it just because we felt like, oh my God, yeah, she took the bump of her life. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm like, oh yeah, she's dead. She's.
Oh, I'm sorry. From that match, what do you remember the most? I mean, the winner or that bump?
Oh, that bump, sure.
That bump, and then the one that EO gave to Zoe Stark. Like, woo! That was ugly.
Didn't she botch the move?
It looked
Zoe Stark botched.
Yeah, she botched the one move, but I honestly, I'm not really sold on Zoe Stark, but I can't lie to you. Like, she took some heavy hits last night, and my hats go off to her. But
Valkyria,
yeah,
she took some bumps too, and I was watching it with a cousin of mine, and he's not he don't watch wrestling like us, let's say, and he was like, bro, this is one of the best shit I ever seen. You know what I mean? He was entertained.
Yeah. I haven't seen a women's Money in the Bank ladder match this good since, I want to say, 2018's Money in the Bank ladder match when Athena / Ember Moon did the eclipse from one ladder to the other, and I thought that was probably like one of the greatest displays of athleticism and timing that I had ever seen in a Money in the Bank ladder match since like Shelton Benjamin. And the whole fact is that when we talk about that match, Tiffany Stratton and Chelsea Green and Naomi, those were the three that really could have used it the most. But I'm not mad with Tiffany Stratton winning. You definitely have to build new stars, and the timing is coming, and she's definitely going to cash in real soon. I say probably SummerSlam, but we'll see.
She definitely cashing in on SummerSlam. And real quick, shout out to Courtney, representing, of course, the Bloodline Network. So shout out to her for tuning in. But go ahead, Cheech.
I forgot what I was gonna say.
That quick?
It's Tiffy time, baby. It's Tiffy time.
Tiffany is definitely going to cash in.
Like who she's gonna go after, but now
Nia Jax.
Yeah, most likely be what Nia Jax the champion.
Okay, you ready? Nia Jax, to me, I think Nia Jax is going to win it at SummerSlam. If she doesn't win it at SummerSlam, then Tiffany catches it in at SummerSlam to make it a triple threat match.
Oh, gotcha.
But either way, I don't see Bayley leaving SummerSlam with the championship.
And I don't even see Priest leaving. That,
Oh no, he's looking up at the lights in Cleveland, Ohio. He's looking up at lights. I don't care. Yeah, man. Nah,
basically, they just announced WWE 24. Yeah, WWE 24 on Damian Priest coming out soon.
Oh yeah. That's anytime they do one of those 24 specials.
Just looking up at the lights.
Just know somebody gonna be looking up at the lights, and whatever title you had is going.
They did that with Roman. Like, hey, here's your documentary. Lights. Lights.
Let's go to give them the lights. But no, overall, Money in the Bank was a pretty decent card. We don't need like 7 hours worth of matches. You know what I'm saying? Give me a solid 3 to 4, and I'm cool with that. Triple H made that comment, and that automatically people thought he was talking about AEW. He was talking about the pay-per-views back during the McMahon era. Because Cheech, you were there, I was there. Those pay-per-views were 7 to 8 hours long. Ooh, okay? Yeah. Imagine being there live.
You exhausted by the time the main event comes on.
You exhausted. You playing with beach balls and shit. Like, that's over with. Like, but no, shout out the shorter pay-per-views. I'm cool with 5 matches.
That's it.
No, and you see what they doing too. They doing like I'll just say like, to pump people up for the show the day before, like the press conference and stuff like that. That everybody gather up, pretty much hyping them up, for everything. But all them ideas, also even though AEW was doing the press conference after, what I mean? But WWE, they changed it. Well, a lot of people think it was Triple H that came up with that idea, but you know who came up with that idea?
And then I said, less is more, Hunter. Shorter pay-per-views are the way to go. If I'm not going over, don't make it a long pay-per-view.
No, real talk. It makes sense. But real quick, we talked about Money in the Bank. I want to say as much as we can, but we got to get to the main event, which is the 6-man tag Bloodline versus Randy Orton, Kevin Owens, and Cody Rhodes. So, what you got from this, Dallas? And then move it on to Cheech.
All right, I'll quickly run through it because I'm excited to hear what Cheech has to say about this. I feel like the match was what it needed to be. If you're going to establish Solo Sikoa as a legitimate threat and as the new tribal chief, he has to beat Cody Rhodes. He has to pin the face of the company. And having somebody as talented as Jacob Fatu in your corner as your enforcer, like the match was just overall just a banger. And it was just highlighting Jacob Fatu's contributions and what he can offer. Even doing like a whisper in the wind, which, I knew he was going to pull that move out because he had been pulling that move out a long time. And the stare down he had with Kevin Owens, the popping up before Randy Orton goes into his motion for the RKO. This was an excellent showcase of what Jacob Fatu has to offer. But I feel like the right decision was made is for Cody to eat the pin, and Solo joins like only one of 4 people, to pin Cody Rhodes clean. And now Solo has established himself. We'll see what the future holds, but that Roman Reigns pop at SummerSlam is going to be generational. It's going to be legendary. The roof is there's not no roof there because it'll be in a stadium. But if there was a roof, it's going to blow off whenever Roman makes his appearance. With him and Solo finally lock eyes, it's going to be generational.
What you got over there, Edmundo El Cheech Estrada?
Let's go, Cheech.
Well, the match was good. You know what I mean? Like everything that was going on with everybody going at each other. You know what I mean? Of course, Cody taking the L to Sikoa, pretty much right there, just setting up like y'all gotta get my lick back. SummerSlam, boom, main eventer. You know, you're going against the champion. Perhaps somebody else new come in. Perhaps we'll see Roman Reigns come back. Who knows? But I all I can say is, man, I don't know what the fuck is wrong with Tangaloa, man. He been fucking up ever since he came back, and it's obvious. I don't know, you know, when you go for a nut shot, you go for the nut shot. This nigga went like he felt them, and then he trying to get him. You know what I mean? Like
hit him in the gooch.
Yeah, like the gooch. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, you just go in for it. Like my man was like, ooh, like, no, man, like what the fuck, bro? Like it fucked it up for me because then the ending was flat. And to be honest, a lot of time with matches, what do you remember? The ending. And that ending kind of fucked it up for me. You know what I mean? Because it felt flat. I think it felt so flat that you usually think something was gonna pop off after. Nigga, then when state go dark, we go to the press conference. Let's go. Make them forget about this. Boom. And who's the first person they had there talking? You know, John Cena, right? Was it John Cena that opened the press conference?
Yeah, John Cena.
Hit him with the neuralizer.
Make him forget everything that happened.
Yeah.
I mean, smart move, very smart move. But hey, when it does come down to it, hey, Tangaloa.
Hey, yo, hey, niggas get shot every day, B. You be alright, nigga. You tough, right?
I'm not gonna lie. Yo, that video takes me out every time.
Botching a low blow is crazy.
It's crazy, but at the same time, it's like, come on now.
When was the last time you see him wrestle? Didn't he wrestle?
SmackDown, was it not last week, but
2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
So I'm saying, like, how many matches since he came out he had?
He's only been in two.
Two?
One singles and one tag team.
You see why? I mean, NXT.
Yeah. Damn, Cheech. God damn.
I know somebody got to tell him, you know what I mean? Because he's motherfucking fucking up.
Yo, she's fucked up. Hey, so overall, if you're going to grade Money in the Bank, what you got for it?
Me?
Yeah. Shout out. Oh, hold on, real quick. Shout out to Tiff. Go ahead.
Bro, Tiff. Now, I'll say this. It was a B plus.
B plus.
Yeah, the match of the night, definitely. The women's they let them cook. That's for sure. They did their thing, and salute to all of them. And they all look good. You know what I mean? Coming out. Okay. Yeah, they were good.
Okay.
I give it. I'm thinking in between probably a B- or a C+, and I'll tell you why. Because some of the botches in the match, because there was almost like a botch almost every match, but mistakes happen. Mm-hmm. But crucial ones that decide the fate of the match kind of take away from the aura of the match. Like, for instance, we didn't talk about how Damian Priest had one of the best performances of his career. All they remember was the botched pinfall after the Falcon Arrow.
Yeah.
And when people, just like Cheech said, they usually talk about the ending or the big mistake that happened. And when people look back at that match, they're not going to talk about how Damian put on like one hell of a clinic. All they're going to talk about is he botched kicking out of a Falcon Arrow. He botched a pinfall, and how everybody looked confused. And especially with Tonga Loa, like missing a low blow is crazy. But overall, I feel like the pay-per-view did what needed to be done. Not too many, and I'd say there were going to be some predictable pop-ups, not too many surprises or changes that needed to happen. However, wholeheartedly speaking, there could have been some things that were done a little bit better, but I'll give it a B-.
Okay. If I had to give it a grade, I'm gonna go C+, maybe B-. I mean, botch after botch after botch after botch. It's like, you know, at one point I was like, damn, another botch.
Again.
It's like, you know, but you know, it's to be expected. But people either going to remember the winner or they're going to remember the mistake. No one never remembers the loser. It's either the mistake that happened that fucked everything up, or the winner. And I think that a lot of these moments could have been saved if it wasn't for that botch. But then again, I'm not going to let the botch like determine my whole experience. So I think a C+ is pretty much accurate. But if I am going to go to B- side, it's only because of the women's ladder match. You know what I'm saying?
That's kind of what saved this paper, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And just like you said, we try to look past the mistakes, but in both of Damian Priest's major single titles matches, a botch has happened on his side both times. And when people talk about his title run, they're going to note that as one of the reasons why they think his title reign has been underwhelming. And I'm a fan of Priest, and I think he's been doing an incredible job. But I feel like his hard work is getting overlooked because of a couple mistakes, major mistakes. One of them wasn't his fault.
No, real talk. All right. God damn. Let's move on real quick. Heatwave predictions, and we out of here.
Yep.
All right. So real quick, Heatwave is tonight. We got a Fatal 4-Way. We got the women's NXT Women's Championship. We got Chase U on the card. And I want to say, what else we got there? We got Oba Femi going up against Wesley. All right, so let's run through these things like diarrhea. Let's run through these things like drunk college girls who trying to prove something. Okay, let's go. So if I had to go ahead and pick, let's go ahead and start off with the women, because I think the women are absolutely going to steal the show. We got Maya, aka Kalani Jordan, going up against Sol Ruka.
Sol Ruka, whoa, that move.
That move, bro. Oh my God.
Listen, when I found out the name of her move was the Soul Snatcher, the listen, how to bless you. Bless you. Bless you. I am going to give it to Maya, aka Kalani Jordan, because
that's my pick too.
I'm not the title.
That's the first defense, right?
Yep. Yeah, that's the first defense. What you got over there, Cheech?
Oh, on that match, I wouldn't mind seeing Sol Ruka, you know what I mean, coming on top.
You's a nasty nigga. All right. So, boom, we got 2 for Kalani Jordan, 1 for Sol Ruka. Let's move on. Chase U going up against Nathan Frazier and Axiom. Who you got over there? You going with Chase U? What you got over there, Cheech?
Window. Rudy, who are you? I don't know exactly why they're going at each other. I mean, they are the champions. I hate that. You know, they should have put the belts on the Good Brothers, but that's not here or there. I look like an A kid, something like that. But Yeah, I guess Chase U could take that. You know what I mean? They do have a kickoff, right? Got some girls in the kickoff.
Yeah, but we talking about
But the
boy.
girls, I'm telling you, the girls, they gave the kickoff match to the girls. That's pretty good.
Yeah. So you going with Chase U or you going with Axiom and Nathan Frazier?
Hopefully both lose.
Hopefully they both lose, so nobody wins.
Yeah, I'll go with Chase U.
I'm gonna go with Chase U too because I've been wanting the titles off of Axiom since the Good Brothers challenged it. Next up, Obafemi going up against Wesley. Who you got?
I mean, he literally gorilla press slammed him from the top rope and threw him like he gonna gorilla press slam him and throw him up in the lights, bro. Obafemi, no debatable. 3-0 in battle rap terms. We say 3-0, a 30. Is
30.
He cooking him.
Are we gonna see
Opa.
like on TNA tonight?
If they do show up,
Toronto, right? They be there.
I mean, if they do show up, bro, it'll be cool. I just don't see how it kind of coincides with the story of Obafemi. You know what I'm saying? Now,
I mean, Moose been calling for him.
okay, but what does the Rascals got to do with? Oh, I see what you're saying. So if Moose does show up, okay, I got you.
Yeah, and then have Lee pop up in TNA. You know, to help the Rascals and anything.
All right, so I got Oba winning. You got Oba winning. It's a unanimous decision. Okay, I wouldn't mind Moose showing up just to lose.
I got West.
You got Wes?
Yeah, I got West.
Okay, so we got 2 for Oba, 1 for Wes. All right. Moving on to the women's match: Roxanne Perez versus my mommy Lola Vice.
My Latinas.
Yes, listen, Chef Kiss over here. God spent his time working on this one. God bless you. God bless you.
Yes.
I'll take Vice.
Take that graphic off real quick, please.
Okay, got you. Hit the graphic button.
All right. So I've watched Lola Vice's MMA fights before she came to WWE when she fought Taylor Turner, Hannah Guy, and Tara Pagano. And then I said, we're going to take the title off Roxanne Perez and give it to Lola Vice. But before I say anything further, I got Lola Vice. I'm a fan of both, but got to bring this out.
Caution.
It is going to be a homicide tonight. Lola Vice is going to murder Roxanne Perez, and it's going to be bad. It's going to be bad. We need to establish Roxanne has had a great run as champion, but Lola Vice is like literally a tornado that's taken NXT by storm. And I'd say this is probably what Shawn Michaels wanted Nikita Lyons to become before she got hurt. But Lola Vice, yeah, right. And Lola Vice is definitely one of the premier people that NXT has, and they need to keep her and just consistently build her up because her time is now, in my opinion, and she's never looked better.
Yeah, listen, NXT is for the Latinas, so give me Lola Vice. Either way, we win. We all win because we got Roxanne Perez, Lola Vice. It's a win-win situation. So I got Lola Vice winning. You got Lola Vice winning. Cheech, you got Lola Vice winning.
It's unanimous.
That's unanimous. And if you don't put the title on Lola Vice, I don't know what's going on with you, Shawn Michaels, but it's clearly right there. It's clearly right there. Let's see. Last match be the championship match, fatal 4-way. We got Javon Evans, who told Sean Spears He was gonna rock his shit. And you also got all ego Ethan Page, and you got Trick Williams. Okay, not for nothing, but you got two Canadians inside this match.
Put it on Ethan Page.
Put on Ethan Page.
Put it on Ethan Page. This is a perfect time just to kind of, just stir up, shit up. You know what I mean? He's from Canada, of course, but it's obvious. Then Trey don't have to take the pin. That's like, you know what I mean, and they could run it back or whatever. But they should put it on Ethan.
I say put it on Ethan Page as well. Shawn Spears is going to get the NXT title. I don't think it's going to be within the next 90, but he's going to get it. But put it on Ethan Page. What you got?
I think Ethan Page is a safe bet, in my opinion. Although I would like Trick to retain. I feel like there's nothing more that Trick needs in NXT right now. I feel like he's slowly developing. I won't say slowly, but he's quickly developing as far as ring work is going. And I think he's ready for the main roster. And I think Raw needs another NXT call-up right now. I know they have Dragunov, they have Braun Breaker, but to have Trick Williams there, that really will establish some future star power in the division. So I would like to see, or even have him going to SmackDown. Him and Mello can pick up their feud on SmackDown, but I just don't feel like it's needed right now. So Ethan Page is a safe bet for me, but I wouldn't mind Trick Williams retaining.
Okay, I got you on that. So that was a whole bunch to say today on the show. We talked about a little bit of 4th of July festivities, Kendrick Lamar dropping the video. We talked about Forrbidden Door, Money in the Bank. And we talked about predictions for Heatwave. That's a lot today in one show.
We covered a lot.
Yeah, we did. Not in depth, but we covered a lot. So with that being said, I don't know. You think it's around that time?
And then I said,
"Hey, look! Silence! I can't take this shit no more."
it's about time to hit that music. And
Sound is real simple, B. It says,
wrap it up.
Yo, listen, we are here. I want to thank y'all for tuning in, and listening. Appreciate y'all coming through. Shout out to everyone that came through last week. And hopefully we end up with the same reception for this week. But thank you for everyone who tuned in last week. Thank y'all for, definitely spreading the word. But we're going to spread the word real quick. Listen, too much negativity can have you unbalanced mentally, spiritually, emotionally, and physically. Spread more positive vibes. It takes very little to build someone up than it does to tear them down. Think about the logic inside that message. It can be as easy as giving them a compliment, opening the door for them at a restaurant. How about even pushing in your chair? Or you can go to water maneuver for the time being, okay? For the time being. And go ahead and get you one of these positive vibes only apparel, okay? You ain't got to get it for you. You ain't got to get it for your spouse. Get it for someone else that may be going through something. Maybe for the first time in a long time, you were able to achieve a goal that you have been working on for the longest. Okay, maybe for the first time in a long time, someone actually complimented your potato salad. Maybe for the first time in a long time, your macaroni and cheese wasn't dry. Or maybe for the first time in a long time, just maybe, someone said, these greens were busting. Okay? Wherever it may be, spread more positive vibes. Okay? And with that being said, I'm going to leave you with the parting words that I've been leaving for the past couple months. It's not tricking if you got it, but if you got it, it's not tricking. Okay? And on that note, enjoy Heatwave. And y'all be safe out there. We gonna be out. And love y'all. Be safe.
Be
Peace.
safe.
We out.